What's good, YouTube? So I'm back with my budget version of my Blue Eyes deck. Today I'm going to be bringing you what I feel is the most optimized version of this deck. I created this specific version with the mindset of making it under $40. Not really sure what the side deck comes out to. However, this is really cheap. We're talking about like 25-cent cards in this side deck as well. So even with the side deck, I'm pretty sure it is under $40. So let's just get straight into the deck profile. So we're going to start in with our main one card starters. We have 3 Maiden of White, 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue, 3 Kaiser Sea Horse, 3 Wishes for Eyes of Blue. So these are the main one card starters. This is 12, 13, 14 one card starters pretty much. If you don't know what Bingo Machine Go does, it pretty much, if you only drew this and say 4 hand traps, you would go ahead and activate Bingo, show 3 Wishes for Eyes of Blue, and you get one of them to your hand. So it's pretty much 5 copies of Wishes for Eyes of Blue. With this specific version of the deck, we are just making sure that we have as many one-card starters of the deck as possible. With Bingo, you can run 3 if you want. Again, these are 25-cent cards. I think I picked up 3 of these, 3 ultra rare ones for less than $1. The secret ones, maybe 50, 75 cents. I'm not too sure what they're at now, but they're fairly cheap. If you did want to cut down and make your own alterations to the deck, I would just recommend maybe cutting one of these out and one Kaiser Sea Horse if you did want to include maybe more hand traps. But again, this is 14 one card starters. Technically, I guess we might as well just throw Pot of Prosperity in there. 15. If you're going to dig for at least even 3 cards, I'm pretty sure you're going to hit one of your other 14 one card starters if you just drew Pot of Prosperity and maybe 4 other hand traps. So again, technically 15 one card starters here. And for a deck under $40, I feel like that is insane. 2 of the bricks, we got 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, True Light, Majesty of the White Dragons. I do run 2 Roars in this specific version and 1 Mausoleum. So with Roar, I was debating 1 or 2. Originally, like in most of my other decks, I do only have 1 of them. However, with this specific version, I feel you do need some form of grind game. And say your whole board gets destroyed, you do want to be able to have a Roar to pick up, because then it can just special summon a Blue Eyes, get Maiden from the graveyard, and kind of just go off from there. If, like, say, True Light is gone, True Light can also do the same thing with special summoning. So for this version, again, we have 2 Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons, 1 Mausoleum. We have a bunch of bricks in the deck that you don't really want to draw. Might as well tell you guys now, this is a 42 card deck. So with 15 one-card starters and a bunch of cards you don't want to draw, I feel like 42 is okay. With the amount of one-card starters that we have, I feel like it's not too bad to have 2 cards over 40. This is probably one of the more expensive cards. I feel like it's $1 and change. But again, we want to make sure our combos go through every turn. So we're not running Mo Charmers. Obviously, this is a budget deck, so Called By is essential in this deck. And then we have Crossout designators just to make sure our combos go through. You can get a playset. I'm sure super rare ones, ultra rares, I think I got the playset for like under $3. So again, one of the most expensive cards in the deck. But then again, it's a playset for $3, and it makes sure your combos go through. Then we got our hand traps. We have 3 Nibiru's, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Droll and Lockbirds. So Droll did recently kind of go up a little bit. Not too sure why it's going up. I know it's great against the Mitsuru Raizio stuff. But yeah, it's still not really too expensive. You can get a playset if you even want to just commons for under $3 as well. Then the 3 Veilers and 3 Infinite Impermanence. This deck is great going second, as well as being able to just break boards with Engine. And then with decks like this, we want to maximize, since it is a budget version, maximize the one-card starters, maximize cards like Crossout to make sure our combos go through. And to make sure the ceiling of this deck is a little higher, we also are running 1 Skill Drain. Card can be cut if you want to break it down. If you can cut one of these, cut out 1 Crossouts. If you want to get it down to 40, that would be my recommendation. Keep your one-card starters in. But again, with this specific version, it's a very control version of the deck. Blue Eyes in general is just a very great mid-range deck. Doesn't set up too much crazy boards, just very diverse end boards. And just having the ability to kind of recreate your boards, similar to like Voiceless Voice. But with Skill Drain, makes the ceiling a lot higher if you flip Skill Drain on them. And with Pot of Prosperity, you can kind of get your Skill Drain even faster. So again, that is a 42 card main deck version. And again, this is my most optimized version of the deck that I feel can compete the best under $40. So with this specific version, you want to run 3 Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Again, say they destroy your board and you have nothing, and then you draw, let's say, I mean, you can even draw an Effect Veiler, really. Just say you draw Sage. You normal summon Sage, try to get an Effect Veiler to your hand. If you get the Effect Veiler, that's great for your next turn. But if not, even if they Effect Veiler this and you have nothing, then you can go ahead and go into Spirit. And then more than likely, you're going to have Blue Eyes and Maiden in your graveyard. So then you can bounce Spirit, get Blue Eyes, get Maiden, and kind of go from there. 1 Hieratic Seal. This is the other one you want to go into. Just great end board piece. And then we're also running, similar to Skill Drain, this is such an affordable little package right here. The whole thing is pretty much like $3 for all 3 cards. Crazy because Access Code Talker was once like a $60, $70 card. But I'm sure you guys know what this does. We have Effect Veiler spellcasters. We have other spellcasters in the graveyard. Link 3, get one of those back. Go into Access Code Talker. Another thing, in case you don't know what Lina does. So if you ever just have 2 cards, one including a light monster, which a lot of our monsters are. So if this link summon card is destroyed by battle or is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while it's in its owner's monster zone, you can add 1 light monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck. So you can crash this and get your Sage and kind of start going off from there. 1500 or less defense, perfect right here. Again, very, very good utility to have. Then we have our 2 fusion monsters. Obviously, got to have these. I would, if you were going to cut something, maybe cut one of these, or maybe you don't want the access code package, you can put another one of these. Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, just because it is a great going second card. It can pretty much break boards. If you're going against something like Kashtira, you can pretty much just crash into all their monsters and destroy them. Then we're running 2 Blue Eye Spirit Dragons. I was thinking of doing a third of this as well, but for now just 2, and then 2 of these. Then the other card that the Blue Eyes can bounce into, another great budget 25-cent card, Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. Those that don't want to play the Crimson Dragon package, even like the really competitive versions, I feel like I started to run this card as well. In case you don't know what this does, this card is special summoned or a level 5 or higher monster special summoned to your opponent's field. Target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. So you can bounce from Blue Eyes into this and then pretty much compulse one of their cards. Then again, if this card is special summoned or a level 5 or higher monster is special summoned to your opponent's field. So again, a level 5 or higher monster is special summoned later, you can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. And you can only use this once per turn. Then we also have the Lightstorm Dragon. In case you don't know what this one does, another 25-cent card. It's just great against back row. If this card is special summon, you can target spells or traps on the field up to the number of normal monsters in your graveyard, +1, destroy them. So we're typically going to have 2 Blue Eyes, +1. So this can pop 2 to 3 back row cards. Just great against if you're going against decks like Labyrinth, even Malice, setting up a bunch of back row. Really great utility card. Again, 25 cents. Pretty much the whole extra deck right here, I would say, is less than $5. If you bought it all from the same seller on TCG Player, this is a less than $5 extra deck. So now I'm going to go ahead and go into cards that, if I were entering a regionals, entering locals, just entering a tournament, playing against my friends, these are cards that I feel would be the best cards to have against the meta. So we have 6 Malice Hate cards, prevents them from banishing, and just going against decks such as Malice that have such a strong end board, you're gonna need cards like this to kind of just stop them from going off. So then we got 3 Ultimate Slayers. I didn't include the extra deck monsters that you'd want to send, but they're typically Mirror Logic. I think he's like a $3 card now. It was rising up, but it's dropping back down, I think, due to a possible reprint coming up. Then you have the Synchro card, the Cloud Beast Dragon, something like that. Then pretty much, yeah, then there's the Trap Brigade Link monster you can send, and then if you want to include the Fusion monster to kind of get a draw as well. Again, all really cheap cards. Then the going first cards would be Solemn Strike and Anti-Spell Fragrance. I feel cards like Anti-Spell Fragrance and Skill Drain definitely add a lot. Solemn Strike too, actually. Great end board pieces. If you want to replace the Ultimate Slayers, I think they are a little higher. I think maybe $1 each right now. You can also put Solemn Judgment and just have 7 going first cards just to make your turn 1 end board stronger. If you have no Malice, obviously you have 6 empty spots. You can do other affordable cards like Lightning Storm, Regekis, even Book of Eclipse. Actually, that would be the Book of Eclipse would probably be the other 3 if you want to replace 3 of these. Book of Eclipse or 3 of these with Book of Eclipse. You can get a playset for under $1 on TCG Player. Those would be great going against decks such as Ryzeo. But yeah, so I think that's all I got for you guys today. I will be going over some other test hands and combos with this specific version as well. Hopefully within the next few days I'll have the video out, but I'll catch you guys in the next one.